Nice day for you to come down and see our celebration for Tomie DePaola. Oh, Tomie DePaola, he's had a wonderful history, and he writes in this particular story about a leprechaun. Oh, yes, and I have a little friend here tonight. Hello, hello, it's so nice to meet you all. Yes, it's very good to see you. So this is my friend Lucky Bear, and Lucky Bear has a nice little shamrock, and you can see that I've decorated a little tonight to help celebrate. Ah, yes, there we go. So let's start off with a little music, shall we? I'll just set you down there, Lucky. Oh, wait, I've got to put down my potato. Yes, our book tonight has got a potato as a big part of the story. Do you like potatoes? Oh, I like potatoes very much. Now here, get your toe tap into this one. There you are, a little bit of tin whistle. Yes, you know, there's so many people play it far better than I do, but that's what we get today, a little taste of it. Yes, in Ireland, you would hear the tin whistle quite often in the wee bands and in the pubs. Oh, yes. Now, look, we've got some friends checking in there already. Oh, there's Mrs. Terrian. Oh, what a fine day to see you here, Mrs. Terrian. I'm glad you made sure you were here tonight. You didn't want to miss the big show, did you? Oh, no. Now, we took out this little book here called the Book of Irish Rhymes. Ah, yes. Now, do you know Ireland is home to quite a few interesting stories? It is indeed. And some of them have been put into poetry. Ah, yes, the Irish have a way with words. They're known for being great storytellers. So here we go. This first one I'd like to read is called The Fairies. Now, I forgot to mention, this poetry book's been put together for us by Alice Taylor and Nicola Emo. So thanks to them for doing that. And you know who published this book for them? Well, it was Gill and Macmillan. How about that? Now, the fairies. The fairies have never a penny to spend. They haven't a thing put by, but theirs is the dower of bird and flower, and theirs are the earth and the sky. And though you should live in a palace of gold, or deep in a dried-up ditch, you never could be poor as the fairies are, and never as rich. Since ever and ever the world began, they have danced like a ribbon of flame. They've sung their song the centuries long, and yet it's never the same. And though you be foolish, or though you be wise, with hair of silver or gold, you could never be young as the fairies are, and never as old. There's a nice picture of fairies. Oh, do some of you like to play fairies sometimes? Well, here's another one. Oh, this one's got a bit of a fight in it. Yeah. I won't say the Irish are known for that, but, well, it's in this poem. Here we go. The Baby Over the Way. Is Sam there tonight? Sam, I think you're going to like this one. It's got something in it that's right up your alley. Yeah, your sense of humor. So you pay attention there, young man. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch of you there. Well, hi. Look at that. I wish I could say top of the morning, but it's not morning at all. Top of the evening to y'all. Hello, Mason. Look at that. There's Jackie and Kennedy. And there's Lulu. Oh, Gracie's there, of course. Oh, she went hunting for leprechauns in Ireland. Oh, my goodness, Gracie. I'd love to hear that story. Me too. All right, Sam, are you paying attention? The baby over the way I know is a baby better than me. For the baby over the way, all that baby should be. His frock is smooth, his bib is neat, and his ears are always clean. He never wants for a comforter. He sips tea from a spoon. He never crumples the moon. He's a dear little sweet little angel bright. A love, a dove, they say. But when I grow up, I'm going to fight with the baby over the way. Do you see the wee boy in the window? Look at him. Do you suppose he's jealous of that baby? Getting all that attention and having all that fuss. Oh my goodness. You know, April's poetry month, so we're just going to keep going with poems tonight because it's the end of April. So we're not really having a song, but we've got lots of poems. Now, a lot of you might have this problem in your home. This one's called Mr. Nobody. Do you have a Mr. Nobody at your house? You better check and see, because I think you just might. I know a funny little man as quiet as a mouse who does the mischief that is done in everybody's house. Though no one ever sees his face, yet we can all agree that every plate we break was cracked by Mr. Nobody. 'Tis he who always tears our books, who leaves the door ajar, who pulls the buttons from our shirts and scatters pins afar. That squeaking door will always squeak, for this is plain to see. We leave the oiling to be done by Mr. Nobody. 'Tis he who brings in all the mud that gathers in the hall. 'Tis he who lets the front door slam and scribbles on the wall. When we can't find the scissors or have lost the back door key, the one to blame in every case is Mr. Nobody. We know he cracked the window and he broke the china plate. We know he left the kitchen floor in such a dreadful state. We know his faults and failings, his sins are plain to see. And so we always put the blame on Mr. Nobody. Does that happen at your house? Where you'll say, oh, look, someone's cracked the plate. Who did that? Not me. Not me. Not me. Oh, nobody. Nobody did it. Nobody. Also, there's a Mr. Nobody at your house, I imagine. I imagine that has happened. Do you know what happened to me once when I was a wee girl? Oh, yes. I was accused of having broken a piggy bank that was the shape of an owl. It was a beautiful thing. I adored it. But you know what? It really wasn't me. So I do believe in Mr. Nobody, because I have no idea how that piggy bank got broken. Huh. Do you suppose there's a Mr. Nobody right here? Well, if there is right now, I just can't see him. He's good at hiding. Oh, like me. I'm quite good at hiding too, you know. Is that right, Mr. Leprechaun? Okay, I'm very good at hiding. But in the story tonight, well, wait till you see what happened to me. Yes, I know Jamie O'Rourke did a number, didn't he? Oh, yes, well, let's do our shout out before we get to our book. Shout out! Yes, indeed. Let's give a big shout out tonight to our friend Sam. I've already pointed you out there, Sam, tonight, but I want to say congratulations. A big thing has happened in Sam's smile. Yeah, he's got a hole in it. He's got a hole in his smile because he lost a tooth. Good on you, Sam. Good on you, young man. You go and lose those teeth and get the new ones growing back in fine and dandy, and make sure you brush them, for goodness sake. Now, has everyone seen one of these before? Oh, does it look very big? If you're watching me on a TV, it must look quite large. That's a potato. Yes, it is. I'm going to put it back here with my potato collection beside my book collection. You know, if you want more stories with an Irish twist to them, you better start requesting them. I have a few more. I have Finn and the Giant. I have Finn and the Fairy. And I have St. Patrick. So if you're interested in hearing more about Ireland, you should ask me to put it in on the calendar for Empty Bookworm. But tonight, Tomie DePaola. Now, what can I say? Tomie DePaola had written 260 children's books. A wonderful American writer and illustrator. Oh, yes, been going on for many, many, many years. Sadly, we lost him a month ago, but we're celebrating him tonight and his Irish heritage. And he wrote this story, Jamie O'Rourke and the Big Potato, an Irish folk tale. Is that a wee leprechaun on the back? Oh, he's got a pot of gold. Let's check it out. Jamie O'Rourke and the Big Potato was published by Scholastic, so thanks to them for having us read it here tonight. Jamie O'Rourke was the laziest man in all of Ireland. He would do anything to avoid working, especially if it had to do with growing potatoes. Oh, I should tell you, in this story, they also call potatoes pratties. It's a nickname for potatoes. Pratties. Jamie O'Rourke, his wife Eileen would say, we'll have nothing to eat this winter if you don't go and dig up those pratties. Oh, saints preserve us, Jamie would whine. Me back's as sore as can be. Sure's I'm telling you, wife, you have to dig 'em up yourself. I'll break in two if I so much as get out of this bed. So Eileen, who had done all the planting and all the watering and weeding anyhow, would go out to the tiny garden and dig up the smallest potatoes in Ireland, all because Jamie was too lazy to dig a larger garden and had no money to buy any good potato seed. Well, then poor Eileen, she wrenched her back. Oh, and she was laid up in bed. St. Bridget and the Virgin Mary herself must have smiled on Eileen O'Rourke, the village women said. Why, it's the first rest she's had since she married that Jamie O'Rourke. With Eileen in bed, Jamie began to worry. No Eileen to dig meant no pratties all winter, and no pratties meant no food. Oh, poor me, wailed Jamie. I'll starve to death. I'd best be going to church and confess to Father O'Malley. There's no telling how soon old Death will be knocking on me door. So even though it was midnight, Jamie set out for the church. He was about halfway down the hill when he heard singing and a tapping song. Ooh, I'm making some shoes, I'm busy making some shoes. Sure, and wouldn't you be knowing, Jamie whispered, but I swear it's a leprechaun. And sure enough, sitting in the circle of ferns in the moonlight, there's a leprechaun singing and hammering nails into the heels of the fairy boots he was making. Jamie knew just what to do. He crept up and he grabbed that little man by his coat-tails and held him firm. Let me go! Let me go! The leprechaun shouted. Not on your life, Jamie said. Not till you show me where you keep your pot of gold. Now, everyone in Ireland knows that leprechauns make boots and dancing shoes for fairies who pay them with gold. And everyone knows if you catch a leprechaun, he'll pay for his freedom with his pot of gold. But this leprechaun was a cleverer than most. Oh, please, Mr. Mortal Man, he pleaded. I'm just a starting out making fairy shoes, and I only have 1 or 2 pieces of gold in my pot. Won't you take a wish instead? Well, what would I wish for? Jamie asked. Me who's about to die of starvation because me wife's sick in bed and can't dig the pratties for the winter. And they're such puny little pratties anyhow. Well, said the leprechaun, reaching into his pocket, how could you wish for the biggest pratty in the world? It would last you all winter, and you wouldn't have to do anything more than plant this seed and water it. What do you think? Should you take the seed or get the gold? That sounded wonderful to Jamie. Done, he shouted, and the leprechaun dropped the seed in Jamie's hand. Jamie let go of his coattails, and the little leprechaun scampered off. When Eileen heard what he had done, she was furious. Jamie O'Rourke, you're not only the laziest man in all Ireland, but a fool as well, giving up a pot of gold for a pratty seed. I'm going to plant this seed and water it, and you'll see, Jamie said. And away he went. And faith, Eileen did see. In no time at all, the biggest, finest potato plant had sprouted out of the ground, followed by the potato itself. It was so big, it pushed up the corner of their little cottage. Well, surely, now it's ready to dig, Jamie said proudly. He hoed all around it, but he couldn't dig that bratty out of the ground. He got a beam and a big rock, and he tried to pry it out. He pushed and he pushed, but it wouldn't budge. And he was pondering what to do when a neighbour passed by on his way to the village. Couldn't believe his eyes. He couldn't wait to tell everyone in the village what he'd seen, and before you know it, the hill up to Jamie's was filled with villagers coming to see the big potato. You see it? It's right there. Just pushing up their cottage. Oh, where did that come from? They asked. Jamie told them about his lucky night that he caught the leprechaun and how smart he'd been. Why, anyone could have got a piece of gold, he bragged, but the biggest pratty in the world, well, that took some doing. However did you outsmart the leprechaun? They asked all at once. Jamie hesitated and scratched his head. We'll help you dig the pratty, Jamie, if you'll tell us how you did it. And they grabbed shovels and hoes, and they all started to dig. They dug and they dug. They pushed and shoved that potato till it flew right up out of the hole. It rolled down the hill faster and faster until it reached the bottom, where it bounced up high and came to a stop, wedged between the stone walls on either side of the road. What to do now? You see, in the villages in Ireland, it would be normal to have a little road and have a wall on either side, because maybe this is a place where the sheep would graze. So they have a wall there, like our fences, you know. But the potato got stuck. What are they going to do? Listen to this. That pratty is so big, no one, no cart, nothing can get by it, said the constable, complaining to Father O'Malley. How's a body to get in or out of the village? What should we do? Wailed the villagers. Then they all looked at Jamie and said, It's your pratty. You'll have to move it out of our way. Well, Eileen spoke up, there's more than enough pratty here for everyone. Why don't you all take some? So the villagers sawed and chopped and carted off huge pieces of potato, while Jamie sat on the stone wall and watched. Oh, look at him. Isn't he just the laziest man in all of Ireland? All winter long, everyone had potato to eat, and eat, and eat, and eat, and eat, until no one wanted to hear or see of potatoes again. In the spring, Jamie said, I saved a potato eye for seed, and it's just about time to plant it. Oh, no, the villagers all cried. If you promise not to plant it, Jamie, we'll promise before St. Patrick and all the saints to see that you and Eileen always have plenty to cook and eat. We don't want another giant Pratty around here. Jamie smiled and agreed. What a perfect life for a lazy man. And so you see, darling Eileen, Jamie told her, I wasn't such a fool with that leprechaun after all. And Eileen had to admit that Jamie O'Rourke was right. Look at all that fine food they've got delivered to their door. And he never has to do a speck of work. Oh, there's a nice surprise picture at the end. Are you ready for this, little fella? You know, he said he had how much gold in his pot? 1 or 2 pieces? Want to see? Look at him. So there you go, folks. There's the whole deal. Jamie O'Rourke and the big potato. I hope you've really enjoyed that one. I know I enjoyed reading it to you. Oh, there's me friend, Miss McCready. It's great to see you there, Miss McCready. Got to get you over to Ireland and visit with some of the relatives, you know. Ha ha ha. Now I see that some of you have been making some jokes. Ah, yes. Very good. Oh, it looks like maybe Myra and Isa joined us there for the end of the story. Well, you go back to the beginning of this video, girls, and you have another look at that then. Now, tomorrow we're dedicating a book to one of our friends who asked for a pigeon book to be read. So I've got that lined up, if you know what I mean by the pigeon. That's what's coming your way tomorrow. I wish you all a very, very good night, and I want you to brush your teeth. Be kind to each other. And you know what? I think it's all right to eat potato every single day, don't you? Have a good night, everybody. Bye for now.